All right, Jim, our next question sent via the Cult of Cornette Facebook group by Michael Sean Braswell. Hey, Jim, do you think Brian Pillman would have become a world champion, or at least become IC champion in WWE, if he didn't die in 1997?
Oh, well, the intercontinental title, definitely, which at the time was still something major in the company. 1997 to, I can't say if Pillman had stayed healthy, had not had the wreck, had not had the issues, I can't tell you he might not have been the WWF champion someday, because a different type of wrestler in the 2000s was going to at least get short runs with it than what Vince would have picked in the 80s and 90s. The Intercontinental title would almost be a gimme, because Pillman would have been one of the couple of, most important heels in the company, that he might even have been a Piper situation where he was used so well but never actually won the world title. But yeah, he had everything. He could work, he could talk, he was creative, he had the personality. But physically, by the time, as we've gone over in the past and after the Pillman Dark Side of the Ring, by the time that he got the opportunity, there was too many injuries, and the wreck and the ankle finished him off in terms of really ever coming back to work again as he could once before.
If he had stayed healthy, what do you think his ceiling was?
Well, I don't know that he had one, because by God, even though the 2000s were going to mostly, be WWE and nothing else, TNA a distant second, Brian's the kind of guy, if he wasn't used on top in the WWE, he could have got money in TNA. Or he could have stayed he could do commentary. He could be a manager, but a high-level manager, like a Heyman type of guy with an insidious group. And that's after, again, if he had stayed healthy, after a number of more years of run as a wrestler past 97. He was, what was he, 35 maybe?
33, I thought, but maybe
33. So yeah, he was going to wrestle for years more at a high level. But he would have been figured in, I'm sure, barring if he ever really did flip out and go crazy, or, instead of just working that.
And what do you think would have happened to Pillman after the Montreal Screwjob, if he had stayed healthy and everything was equal and he was a member of the Hart Foundation?
Well, but he didn't need to be a member of he was a member of the Hart Foundation because he had the Calgary background and had trained there, and we brought that into the story, and he fit with those guys. But Vince didn't consider Brian Pillman a part of the Hart family. It was a gimmick. He was part of the group on screen, but he would have got no heat, had no heat for that. And with Brian, I'm sure he probably didn't appreciate that Brett got screwed, but at the same time, he had 5 kids or whatever and a high-paying contract, so he wasn't going to walk out on a moral stand over it.